Hello and welcome to a quick little Imperator Rome video. So I thought there was some interesting things in the dev clash that was on yesterday, and also some of the discussion that was in the forums post-clash. So I just want to go over that just a little bit. First off, I want to show you a quick snippet from this video. This will be in the linked description. This is the entire clash from yesterday. And some interesting stuff. So let's watch this one just real quick.
We can take it, Jake. We can take it.
Can't we all? Can't we all? Yeah, so it is actually showing up as their second civil war that they're having down there in Stacey's Sri Lanka.
Is she being supported by the other players?
Yeah, Shola's helping out,
Yeah.
of course. Why would Shola not?
I mean,
Ooh, was that always there? I like that.
This
I like
is
that a
new, I
lot.
think. Yep. That's good. Good stuff.
Excellent.
Yes.
Oh, and another one of the nice things from being away for a couple of weeks, just the game has evolved in this time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually pretty jealous of that. I want that.
And we have a few people on the hot.
And that part is the interesting part, because Jake here, of course, is the project lead, I think it is, or game director of EU4. And if he wants something that's in Imperator, maybe we'll see it. So basically what he was doing there was hovering his mouse over the various participants in this war, and it would highlight it on the map in a way that is much, much easier to spot than the kind of terrible highlighting that we have in EU4 right now with the pink lines around the provinces. It's kind of terrible, actually. But yeah, I love this. I think that highlighting thing is phenomenal, and I really want it as well. So, this is the state of the game pre-dev clash. I just wanted to show you the difference between the start and the end of the dev clash, because we want to talk mostly about Britannia in this situation. So you can see here that Britannia gained one province up here in Scotland. And go back again, and there. Yeah, you get one province. Basically, Britannia was on, I think, 198 aggressive expansion, and the changes to aggressive expansion were added in this dev clash. So he had a lot of his foreign pops were very unhappy. His own pops were very unhappy. He had power costs through the roof. He was in a pretty shitty situation at the start of the game, and I, for one, was very much expecting his country to explode into civil war, and it didn't. So yeah, he did a really good job there. One thing I will mention as well, this is not the player map mode, this is the end game map mode with every country, and it also shows occupations, which I really, really like. That is not a thing in EU4, but yeah, you can see here the occupations going either side for the Saxonia-Bosporan War. You can see the occupations for the Rome and Carthage War, and yeah, it looks really, really good. And yeah, I want it very much. I also saw in the forums after the clash that Grugi had put a list of all the different stats together, and so I took a note of those. But actually, first off, before I do that, let's go back to this map here, and you can see that my cursor has that little, you know, magnifying glass. I just want to show you how much you can zoom into this. So let's zoom in on Rome. Look how detailed this is. This is the same map that you were just looking at. Look at the city count in Italy. It's insane. It's phenomenal. Like, holy shit, I love it. And the density of provinces here, it doesn't get worse. No matter where you go, you're going to see this same density. Let's have a look at India. Tiny bit bigger provinces, but not much. The density is still there, and I love it. It's great. I am very, very pleased with this map. So, as I was saying, the stats. No, wait, not the map, not the map, not the stats even. First off, I want to, yeah. So Rogers here is the one playing as Britannia, and he basically said that the reason he didn't go to war a lot versus Rome is because he had a lot of problems at home. They have seen a change in how our world operates, and they said it would be imperative to not involve ourselves in any offensive wars this week, or it would risk our entire nation breaking apart. Basically, the game values are being tuned, and he can't afford to not have aggressive expansion tick down every single month this session. So the aggressive expansion changes we've seen are going to get worse. And here's Kaiser Johann in Rome saying, the next build is going to be even harsher in regards to AE. I have no idea what they're doing, but I like the fact that there's changes, and I hope one of those changes is your own pops aren't as unhappy, because I really don't like that change at all, really. Your population, especially in this time, would be quite happy for your country to be expanding. They love that shit. So I hope that is removed, and then something else is added in its place. Even if that something else is indeed harsher, I'd be okay with that. Now, as I was saying, stats. Grookey had these all in a long list, and I've just put it all in one, viewable thing. So yeah, multiplayer statistics, this is the start of the session, so the end of last session. We see Rome here at 6,400 pops, and bearing in mind Rome didn't really grow any provinces, or not many provinces, you can see that Rome has shot up to 7,000. Moria has taken first place, but that is merely because Moria had the revolt, which, from, call it 8,600, and now he is at 8,500. So he lost a few pops in their civil war, but that is to be expected. As well, take a note of the amount of ships, because naval warfare played a big part in this the war between Carthage and Rome. The 5th, I think, Punic War. So at the start of the session, Rome had 248 ships, and at the end of the session he had 174. So he lost a lot of ships, and Britannia actually took first place. It's just a shame that he left the war. Although considering that this is from the, I think, 1st of January autosave because they crashed on Rome piecing out, maybe Britannia is still in the war at this point? Not sure. I am not sure. Right, moving on. This is from Kaiser Johann in Rome, saying that he finds naval supremacy to be absolutely vital in Imperator, more so than EU4. The threat of being able to drop 100,000 legionaries into the enemy's capital, pillage his heartlands, and enslave his people while they take the long march around towards Rome is no small thing. Also a free win if you select a conquest war goal on an island, as you can then force the peace whenever you want. And he seems to be the only one who thinks the negative 50% trireme cost idea is OP as well, but please don't tell anyone. So yeah, considering how the war went, I definitely agree with him here. Just the naval dominance that he had in that war was quite significant. I mean, he lost one naval battle, but I mean, he could spend very little money to just rebuild his fleet, and it's all in one place, so he came back towards the end, especially after Egypt pieced out. So yeah, just to show you, this was the very start of the war. Not much has happened yet. There are 4 war score, and the sides, Carthage side, including Egypt, has 391 ships. Rome's has 254. And this is the naval.
Rogers telling us that there is a naval battle in Sicily. Britannia rules the waves. Actually,
yeah, okay, sure.
Sure.
I'll believe that. Unless there really is. No, there is not.
That's not Sicily. That's Corsica.
I mean, can you blame him? He's been far too north for far too long. But it's not looking so good for the coalition here unless they get some serious backup. Well, Britannia. Well, yeah.
Nope. Don't be too cocky, Sir Rogers.
Yeah, I think you're going to need some serious backup that you're just not getting. Oh, yeah, the
yes.
SPQR are victorious.
And there it is. That was the first naval battle of the war. So Rome lost their 99 ships. If we go back here, we see that he started with 254. He's about on 150-ish. But we can see that he has been building boats all the time. He's got lots and lots of little navies, and I think he was building boats the entire war, just in every province that he could. Of course, you can't build boats in every single city that borders the sea. You can only do it in these little port provinces. So again, depending on what kind of state your land is in, you might have a long coastline but very little ability to project naval power. Whereas if you have a short coastline but lots and lots of these ports, you might get quite a lot. I imagine Greece is going to be quite good for ports. So moving on again. This was the talk right at the end of the war, and this part is very interesting what Dino is saying here, so I'll let this play as well.
You did well on North Africa.
So simple fact was, right, I was still crippled from my Phrygia war.
All right.
I had next to no army left.
All right.
So I sent my navy to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you
we did defeat them, right? And I held the point.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where Johan's navy went after we beat it, but it didn't come back.
No, it came to me. Trying to raid my 11 ships. I was like, port.
Just a little 11 ships. And then I sent my 3 remaining armies that were full man, so 60,000 troops into Africa to fight them.
Yeah, we saw that.
And I was trying to get up, and he sent 50,000 heavy infantry, which absolutely decimated my armies, right? And then so I lost 20,000 in the battle, and then I lost another 30,000 from the retreating across the desert provinces.
Yeah, because of attrition.
Which left me with 10,000 troops. What was I going to do in the war?
What he says here is quite interesting, mostly about the attrition and about how the heavy infantry were just so unbelievably strong. And yeah, heavy infantry do seem to be horrifying. I think they only have weaknesses towards the horse archers, which makes sense if you know the history of the Battle of Carrhae, where Crassus went, I'm going to invade Persia, and he brought some heavy infantry and they just got shot to shit. And then he got gold, poured down his throat. But they couldn't fight the horse archers because they just couldn't catch them. And then they just got picked off one by one until, they lost. But the attrition part is what I find particularly interesting. Because we see here, if we go back to the previous dev diary, heavy infantry cost 50% more supply, light infantry of course costing half supply, and war elephants aren't really coming into this right now. I imagine he probably did have a few war elephants, and that's why he took so much attrition going across the desert. But if we look at this, yeah, heavy infantry at 50% more, and it doesn't say anything about regular cavalry. And this is what Kaiser Johann put at the end of the clash in the forums. So he was saying that this army right here, it is only able to stand in these green provinces. Red is maximum attrition, and so there's some confirmation that there is a maximum amount of attrition you can take, and then orange is somewhere in between. So if we have a look at this, he's got 4 units of heavy infantry, so 6, that would be 6 supply limit, and then 2 cavalry. Again, I don't know if this has a positive or a negative amount of supply, but if we consider that it didn't say anything about it and we just say that it's 1, then he's got 8 supply limit, and we can just see how much of the map is able to support 8 supply limit. Also, my apologies, I've just completely fucked up. I only saw these, I didn't look at the top here, so let me just recalculate. Call that 19.5. I imagine archers are probably going to be like light infantry, so we could probably call that a half each. So 20.5, 22.5 supply limit. It would be very nice if somewhere on this screen, somewhere, anywhere, it just gave a number saying this is the supply limit that this particular army requires. So, okay, it's a lot less bad than I previously thought. Hey, we're learning things on camera, that's fine. But yeah, say 22.5 supply limit is able to supply Italy pretty significantly, so we can see that Italy has quite a lot of supply limit compared to the rest of Europe. Tunisia, Carthage area, various city centres in Spain and Gaul, a decent chunk of Greece and a bit of Anatolia. Of course, I can't really go any further than that. But I just found it very interesting that he was showing this 22.5. I think. I mean, I did the maths on camera, and that's never a good idea, so I apologize for that. That's where it can stand. So that 50,000 infantry, heavy infantry that Dino got absolutely crushed by in Carthage. Yeah, that's 75 supply limit. And where, I mean, he said he went into Carthage area, so I imagine he's probably taken it from Rome on his boats, landed it in Carthage and marched down, smacked him. And then when Dino was marching his way across this horribly supplied land, that's when he's taken all of the attrition, and it makes complete sense that he would peace out after that. But yeah, just some interesting things that I saw in the Dev Clash. I hope you've also found this interesting. If you have any comments, then please do leave them in the comment section below, including "you suck at maths." That's perfectly acceptable because it's true. And yeah, like the video if you did, like it, comments and all that are great, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.